I decided to make this video. Shout out to O'Shea. He actually had a topic that just came up on my feed. I'm sitting here doing other stuff, but this idea that people are having where in social media, bad faith debates, bad faith conversations, bad faith arguments is basically, at least for my algorithm, a viral thing. So people are out here just, being, what do you call that? Deceptive on purpose. Or that you could say they're being deceptive because of stupidity, but it's a lot of deception going on. So you have these ideas where people have a personal idea or vested interest in basically wanting to be right even when they're wrong. So the best way to be right even when you're wrong is to create a bad faith debate, a bad faith argument, a bad faith conversation with bad faith dynamics. Like I saw the video of the whatever the white dude in the barber shop. White people are 12 times more likely to die around black people. He probably was in a room with like 12 black people, but he's still alive. But it doesn't matter because, hey, I need this bad faith debate. I need to be right, right? Even if it doesn't make sense. The bad faith debate goes back to, you remember when the ladies was talking that feminist stuff. Would you rather be with a man or a bear in the woods? Okay, I would choose the bear. Choose the bear. Whatever. Does it make sense? No. But hey, fine. Choose the bear. All day, all night, choose the bear. You have these conversations where people are taking history out of context, making up new points in history to make their arguments sound more realistic or intellectual or bright. That's what's going on. Even the whole thing about the FBA delineation debate, right? A lot of that has to do with bad faith arguments, and you see it, and I see it just as a person time and time again, where you see the same thing happening where, okay, somebody will say something, it's an outright lie or it's a half truth. So they'll say something that's an outright lie or they'll say something that's a half truth. And then what winds up happening after that is basically you wind up in a situation where when somebody tells the whole truth, you get silence. People just go silent. They don't say anything. They just like, oh, let's just move on to the next subject. I didn't hear what just happened. And it's like, okay, this is what we're doing every day now. This is what we're doing every day now. Even, I could have put that in sports talk. I saw the thing recently with, who was that? With Michael Irvin going off because they used his name out of pocket. He can't make it, I might be going too far when I say that. He wouldn't be elite nowadays. It's like, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about whatsoever. But you made up a conversation, a bad faith conversation at that, on the best you can think of versus the worst you can think of. It's not a one-to-one. It's not, let's live in reality. No. It's a situation where, okay, this is the best scenario that I got to make my point right. And this is the worst scenario I got to make my point look right. And that should tell people, from that aspect in general. Once you got to use two extremes of best case scenario versus worst case scenario, that means the whole argument is BS. Because you can't even use regular day-to-day, how can I say that? Day-to-day real life happenings. Let's just say that. He's my dog. So now we got these issues over and over and over again. And it comes to a point where gotta start asking questions like, hey man, like what are we really doing now? Like at this point, who's right and who's wrong? And everybody will say, okay, if I have a bad faith point of view, I can some way along the line, if this is a debate, I can in some way figure it out how I can win. And it's like y'all not really winning anything. You're winning people not trusting you at this point. It's like the same political debate. It's the same thing over and over again. We got political debates left and right. But a lot of the racial debates, you know, we go on to college campuses, and this is the weird part about even those bad faith debates. These I'm gonna go to college campus debates. I'm gonna go to college campuses, and I'm gonna argue with. You know what? Let me just keep it a buck with y'all before I even try to be nice about it. Let me explain what these bad faith debates are. You got people who consider themselves smart. They consider themselves smart. And they find who they consider to be the dumbest people that they can find to make them look smart, and then they have a debate with them. The debate is already set up to be bad faith. All right? That's the same thing, we were talking about years ago when people wanted to have the dating and the relationship debate. What you were having were people who wanted to look better than their oppositions, so they found the worst opposition they can find. They found the dumbest people. They got them drunk. They got them high, or they were already high. Then they picked the perfect time. Oh man, we going out. We gonna have this conversation now. So they look like idiots. It becomes it's a normal thing with a bad faith debate. It's a normal thing at this point. So now you have that situation where it's like, oh, okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about how since I've catered this whole scenario to be in my favor, I'm a blitzkrieg you. I'm gonna ask you questions out of the blue that are already in my favor at the moment. And because I don't know who I'm dealing with, but I know the material I'm dealing with. So basically what I'm gonna do is, hey, how many smart people can I run into in a random scenario? Probably not. It's the same thing. I remember talking about this when I was in college. I was going to class, and a news crew showed up. Something went bad on the campus. Something happened that was supposed to be bad on the campus. And anybody know what I'm talking about with this scenario. If you find a news crew and they show up to the place, when they get around black people, they try to look for a target. Who looks at the stereotype to be an idiot? Let me put the camera in front of their face. We're gonna get some good news. It's the same premise. So if you fit a person's stereotype in their mind, yeah, they're gonna go right to you. Because hey man, this is a bad faith debate. I need somebody who fits the role of imbecile in my mind. And then when you don't sound like they want you to sound, you don't think how they thought you would think, you don't respond how they want you to respond, they go, yeah, we're gonna cut this one short. We're gonna move on to somebody else that fits the stereotype for me. It's the same thing, and we got to do this because I talk about this in different ways. When I said the FBA, the delineation thing, it's the disrespect is constantly overlooked. The disrespect of other, or groups that aren't, let's just say FBA, their disrespect is constantly overlooked. It's like, oh yeah, I'm disrespecting you, I'm trolling you, you know. So, I'm making these stereotypes about you. I feel like I'm better than you. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now let's prove it. Huh? When it's time to prove it, we move on to another subject. Hold, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'm guessing somebody delivered something to the house. The dog barking. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Move. No, get your nose out the door. Now getting back to the conversation. What winds up happening nowadays is you got that situation where people say, "Hey, we came here," kind of the immigrant thing. We came here with nothing and we made something. It's like, we know you're lying. I know you're lying. History tells me you're lying. The way the government is set up, the way tells me you're lying. The programs that you got tells me you're lying. I know you're lying. I know you didn't just show up here with $2.50 in your pocket and just, hey, got it out the mud. I know you're lying. Well, hey, fine. You guys aren't getting educated. You guys are stupid. Okay, I know you're lying. How do I know? How do you know I'm lying? Well, we're stupid, right? We're not educated. We're not getting education. Yes. Okay. So I'm an FBA and you're black from another place. Most of your people go to HBCUs around other black people. Around other black people. But you guys aren't educated. Okay, that don't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You're right. I'm not even, I'm just talking about the premise of it in itself. I get it. So when you're listening to these things, you're not understanding that. Well, I'm not gonna say you're not understanding. People are setting themselves up to be better than somebody. That's what's going on. So now you have this scenario where people get mad because people are actually like, no, you're lying, and I'm gonna tell, and this is the truth. And the worst type of person to debate in a bad faith argument is a person who can actually admit right and wrong on both sides of the argument. Because what you have, these people who are bad faith debaters, they're just out here just like, oh, everything's bad. Everything I did is right and everything you did is wrong. It's like, okay. Like going back to the political conversation when people bring up the racial aspect. But I go to the political part. You having these bad faith political arguments, and the Democrats did this, and the Republicans did this, and it's just, stop it. Stop it. Because basically all you're trying to do is, hey man, look, we did no wrong over here. It's all them over there. And both sides do it. So, hey, look at that. Hey, no, but look at that. But look at that. But look at that. And it's like, hold up. If you know any political thing in America, most of these things they pass are bipartisan. Now the question is how bipartisan, but usually you can't get anything through with just one party saying yes to it. You got to have people on both sides to get a majority. So people like to play this game where, oh no, it's not both sides. It's just one side. No, it's both. It's both. But hey, my party's right, your party's wrong. And when you play that my party's right, your party's wrong game, it ends bad. It ends horribly wrong. It's okay. His little dog, he whining. So now you have this scenario where people don't even want to hear it, but where people are trying to say, I'm smarter and I'm better than everybody else because my political beliefs are better. It's like, no, you're stupid too. Or my political beliefs, we're about the economy. You saw that recently with these bad faith arguments. Tariffs are going to get everybody. We're going to get rich, and the same people that wanted tariffs crying about it. Let's get ICE. Let's get all these immigrants out of here. Now the same people who was crying about getting the immigrants out of here are the same people whining. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with the money? What's going on with the economy? People are tripping. It's like, no, 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 no. You had this bad faith argument. You wanted to be right so bad you did wrong. And now that you did wrong, and now it's affecting you, it's an issue. I saw a guy, part of what made me talk about this, I saw a guy, this black dude who had a blonde wig on. You know how they make, like, the people street interviews? And it was the black guy with the blonde wig, like the Trump wig on, talking to three white folks, two white women, a white guy, about Juneteenth. And he says, so you don't like Juneteenth? He's like, no, but it's about when people got their freedom. And he's like, and they're like, yeah. Is it? But do you like the 4th of July? And they're like, yeah. I was like, well, basically he got to the point where, well, during the 4th of July, the black people were still enslaved. So Juneteenth is the black Independence Day in a sense. And they're like, well, I'm Irish. What about the Irish slaves? And it's like, oh, okay. And he said, well, maybe you should have a day too then. And then it's like, oh, well, man, no, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And the point of that is, when stuff is hypocritical, but you're so stuck to your hypocritical argument that all you got is, let's just move on. You get what I'm saying? So it's the bad faith debates. And then, and one of the guys said, well, I'm a business owner, and I own the guy was like, I'm a businessman, and I got a business, and, it's like, what does you having a business have to do with the fact that, I didn't want another holiday because I didn't want people to have a day off? Okay, so you only wanted, okay, you want people to celebrate white freedom and independence, but not black freedom and black independence. I understand. I understand. I get it. But what if they tell them, hey, man, what about these other holidays in America that were actually for black folks? And then it was like, what do you mean? So what we going to do on Memorial Day? Uh-oh. Memorial Day is yeah. The vast majority of the federal holidays aren't necessarily white days. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's the reality of it. But let me get to get back on track with this bad faith debate argument. Then I was looking at these relationship panels, and people asking all these relationship questions and relationship BS. And what if you was with somebody who was, beating you with a hot with a hot coat hanger and cheating on you every day, and went to work, and you went to work, and you gave them all your money, and then they took all your money, and don't they owe you something? It's like, man, hold up. Where are y'all getting these Waiting to Exhale, Tyler Perry, Color Purple, relationship scenarios from? Because it sounds like you just made something up, because there's no way you put yourself in this bad position. But then you get people like, am I wrong for dating a married man and being a side chick for 4 years? He told me he would leave his wife, and he haven't yet, but I ain't never left. It's like, come on, G. Come on, G. Don't you think these men are terrible for that? Like, wait. Let's get this right. So you got a thing where you like dating married men, and you like being a side chick, and you don't care about that man's family or his wife, but it's the men that's the problem. So if he the problem for cheating on his wife with you, and she the problem, the wife the problem is for staying or not knowing that is going on, but you're just scot-free because you the side chick. That's what we doing. These are bad faith debates. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna say what I need to say to feel, so you can, feel like you need to be felt sorry for. It's like, wait a minute, I just realized something. Um, then we got this scenario where, and there's no nice way to say it. There's really no nice way to say it. What I'm about to say. Um, Now you having these debates where people are having the gender role and gender war debates again. That's part of that. He needs six figures for what? If a man makes less than $80,000, he broke. To who? You get what I'm saying? You're seeing more and more people have these debates because the people who want a man to have a certain amount of money, do they want him to have a certain amount of money because it says he's responsible and hardworking? No. They want him to have a certain amount of money so they can get a certain amount of money out of him. That's what all these conversations are about. I need you to have a certain amount of money coming into your bank account every 2 weeks, every month, every quarter, so I can get this amount of money out of you. That's a bad faith. That's a bad faith relationship, a bad faith debate, a bad faith conversation. That's what that is. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Same thing when you got the guys. I need a woman who's like this and like that. Okay, I hear you, man. You need a freak. You need a freak. I hear it. You need a freak. That's what you're saying. I need a freak all day, all night. And here's the hypocrisy with your bad faith conversation. I need a freak all day and all night, but she can't be a freak. That's basically what y'all saying. She can't. I need a woman, and I want a woman that's fine and freaky, but she better not have never been free. She could have been fine the whole time, but she never could have been freaky before she met me. Bro, you 35. Shut up. Just like I tell a girl, shut up. I need a man who make $150,000 a year. No, for what? Because I need him. I need the $150,000 to go do what I want to do. It ain't your money. What we talking about? What up, Bucket? What we talking about here? It's all of these, like I said, all these bad faith conversations, bad faith debates. That's all it is. And everybody looking for somebody real or something real, and they being fake as hell the whole time. Stop lying to yourself. Just stop. Everybody's an angel, and everybody is an angel now, and the whole world is a demon to them. It's like, no, 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 no. I hate to break the news to you, you the demon. you, because you wouldn't set up your idea and your ideology behind being victimized when you're the one doing wrong. You get what I'm saying? That becomes an issue. Going back to the other part. It ain't no nice way I'm about to say what I'm about to say. Same thing with content creation at this particular point. A lot of this content creation is bad faith debates. Look, I've seen brothers in the manosphere, and I've been in the black manosphere for a minute. I've seen some of y'all do all this content about, the black women, these black women, da 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 da, only to turn around. If she white and she a hood rat, she's beautiful. If she a Hispanic and a hood rat, she's beautiful. Oh well, let me use the other language. Let me use the manosphere language. If she's a white Keisha, it's okay. If she's a Hispanic Keisha, it's okay. If she's an Asian Keisha, it's okay. There you go. It's only Keisha that's bad is the black one. That's it. Y'all heard these hood rats, they got 5 baby daddy. Yeah, guess what? The white girl got a baby daddy too. But it doesn't matter because she's white. The Hispanic Keisha got a baby daddy too, but it don't matter because I don't know. It depends now. She's Asian. She got a baby daddy. Oh boy, she's Asian. Yeah, everybody comes from a good family when they not black, even when they hood rats. You know what I'm saying? Even When they come from poverty and bad neighborhoods, it never changes. You know, it doesn't change. It's complete hypocrisy. That's why it's a bad faith. You know, these black women out here with these over sexualized bodies. Then next thing I see on your page, super thick white chick, super thick Hispanic chick, super thick Asian chick, and it's like, bruh, she built just like the black chick you said was trash. What we talking about here, G? Oh, what we talking about? And it's like, well, it's I'm a little different. Oh, and let me get back to this. And the reason I got to talk about this is the same thing with these black conservatives. It's the same issue with the black conservatives. Look, they're basically saying everybody that's white is functional. That's all they're saying. There's no criminality in white America. There's no criminality in Hispanic America. There's no criminality in Asian America. There's only criminality in black America. That's it. That's the only place there's criminality. That's it. Not just criminality. This is the only community that has dysfunction. And I've said it before, these bad faith arguments. Because you catch all the black conservatives, 1 minute, look at the blacks. The next minute when white people do it, huh? What happened? I didn't know about that story. Or that other 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 story. Or the other story. I see a black story now. Look at the blacks. Like, oh, okay, bro. I hear you. I hear you. Racism doesn't exist. And then one day the white people get on you. They're so racist. We're all good. We have no color in God's eyes. Jesus loves us all, brother. Shut up. And the reason I got to bring that up is because part of the bad faith argument is religious. This idea that you can do the devil's work and go, we're all God's children, brother. Shut up. I can lie, cheat, and steal, and I'm going to heaven. But if you lie, cheat, and steal, it's wrong. You're going to hell for your actions. There needs to be consequences and repercussions. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all even made God racial. Y'all made consequences racial because y'all had bad faith arguments. Thou shalt not steal. Well, it depends on what's the ethnicity of the person stealing. God never specified which ethnicity couldn't steal. Those people, if they steal, they're dysfunctional, they're degenerates. But if these other people steal, it's okay. God told me to tell you it's okay. Lying through their teeth. You know, I'm glad they had a good time at the Black Exodus party, man. But let me go ahead and clown a little bit with this part of it too. Because like I said, these bad faith arguments are just ridiculous. No nice way to say what I'm about to say either. I be trying. I swear to you, I be trying. Here's the thing. For all you folks out here, I'm not, you know what? I don't even care about finding a holy woman in the church. I'm tired of people going to church acting like they're holy. Who cares if they, look, that's how I look at it. Most of these people, like, there are no saints. Sorry. Stop looking for perfect people, because they ain't. They're not perfect people. They're not saints, they're not holy people. Most of the people who want to be holy ain't holy. Matter of fact, let me rewind that tape. Let me rewind that tape. This other bad faith argument when it comes to attraction. All the really good people are ugly. See, you really see the reason why you can't find a real good person is because see you looking for the fine people all the time. See, the fine people is all evil. If you see, I know you're superficial because everybody that you like is fine. It's all, but you ain't never get the ugly people to try. The ugly people are really good people at heart. The fat people are really good people at heart. You know, the people that nobody wants to be around and attract you, they're really good at heart. It's just you're the problem because you never looked at people like that. And it's like, bruh, shut up. Shut up. This is where we're at. Bad faith arguments. So you can't find a good looking person that's good. No, they don't exist. Ah. Yeah. Stay off the drugs. Stay off the drugs. But this goes into, like I said, the bad faith debate. And okay, let's do it. Because when I was talking the political part, I had to talk about the other black folks. The other black folks, and it ain't even black folks. Forget all that. All of you people who having these debates that has this ideology where what if everything was perfect? Let's have a debate as if nothing ever happened prior to yesterday. There is no history, there's only today. See, if we start from today, things should be if you do exactly what I think you should do, if we start from today, things will be perfect. Yeah, I bet. I bet. So how about this? How about do we have that faith debate? Because this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start everything from right now, today, right? The past doesn't exist. Right. So we're gonna go with this ideology that the past doesn't exist in the future too, right? What do you mean? What I mean is, since the past doesn't exist and we're gonna start from today, I'm gonna do everything your family and your ancestors and your group did to get themselves in the position they are today that we're gonna forget about. You forget that they did it, forget that y'all did it to us, and I'm gonna do it to you. And tomorrow, let's just start from today. Doesn't matter. That's what we need to do, right? That's what we need to do. Because that's part of these weird debates where people want everything to start from today. And I see that with a whole bunch of, I see people who had this thing even online. You had these conversations with people who play this game where, oh, I did you dirty. I, I know I did you dirty. You caught me. But we family, we friends. Let's just move on, and let's move on. Let's talk about that another day. We still cool. It's like no. We ain't cool ever again in life. Because that's part of this. Let's forget about the past ideology. It's always let's forget about the past and forgive and forget. It's like no. I can forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. You gotta go. This idea to forgive and forget only enables a person who's a backstabber. And that's why I say, it's a bad faith debate. Because people do what people consider narcissistic things. And it's like, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to act like, hey, man, don't worry about what I did. I know you got screwed over by it, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I know I did it. It's okay. But I should be able to sit right here in your face and smile and laugh like nothing ever happened. Oh, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You finna get hurt. Because that's part of this ideology that goes around. Now, what I'm seeing, ultimately at this particular point is the bad faith is people are walking away from it. Like, no. You on your own. You got bad faith debates. You got a bad faith ideology. You on your own. You got to figure this out on your own. I'm not even arguing with you. I'm not participating with you. You believe this BS to be true and be able and you think you can work with it. You got to work with it on your own. You got it. And then you're starting to see people crumble because when people aren't participating with the BS, there's nobody to get over on. And now that's the issue. You get what I'm saying? Now people are really complaining. Now people are pushing the envelope in these bad faith ideologies and conversations. They're pushing the envelope to create the scenario that they need to prove their point in the first place. And people ain't even in the room anymore. This is why you see people complaining about stuff that's not even happening anymore. And probably hasn't happened at all. That's part of the extremism. It's like, I need more extremism because you're going to always find a sucker to go down a rabbit hole to say all the dumb stuff is true because people are in their feelings about all kinds of stuff. They're in their feelings about all kinds of stuff. And you can't control that because that's the thing about people. You know, somebody got beat in a basketball game. Somebody got, they're racist for life. Somebody got, a student was smarter than them. Now they hate whatever that student was for life. You get what I'm saying? Somebody got more money than them. Oh, it's a nefarious reason, It's like, oh, God's gonna crush them for me. It's like, bruh, leave this alone. A lot of these weird, insecure tantrums people are having are really what's fueling the bad faith conversations because a lot of this is out of jealousy. And a lot of this, people aren't experiencing what they're creating these bad faith conversations about. This is not really happening. I mean, it's like people in L.A. having a debate about New York pizza, but never been in New York. They only heard New York pizza was good. They've never been to New York. They've never been past Denver, but I think they're putting rat poison in the cheese and the pepperoni. I think they're sprinkling, fentanyl in the cheese and in the sauce, and that's why people love the pizza. It's like, okay, you just mad because nobody is talking about L.A. pizza. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. Same thing we was clowning about. When we're talking about Louisiana, all the Louisiana dishes, these Louisiana dishes, they're African dishes. No, they're not. I know y'all hate the jollof is jambalaya. Taste jollof, taste jambalaya. Get back with me. Because if that's all you got, jollof and jambalaya, agusi and gumbo, not at all the same. Not at all the same. This what we doing? So what's dirty rice? What's etouffee? You know what I'm saying? We don't know, huh? They making beignets in Africa now? Like, what we talking about? Is like, what is this Louisiana? What about melatonin? Y'all make melatonin is not is not an African dish. What's that? Oh, I know, y'all. You wasn't ready for that. It becomes an issue because people make these bad faith arguments just because they want to feel better. And the thing about what's happening with it, and the thing about jealousy, insecurity, or just even a flat out competition, there's always somebody who's a standout in the group. Like, matter of fact, let me just backtrack. Years ago, I used to have me and my homeboy used to have a boxing podcast, and we were talking about the racial aspect of boxing, how basically boxing is a race or country or a ethnicity war. A lot of the matchups are big because you got this versus this, and it ain't just fighter versus fighter. Sometimes it's race versus race, ethnicity versus ethnicity, one country versus another country. That's how it goes. And one of the conversations we were talking about was the terms. Like if they say a boxer is slick, they mean he black. You know what I'm saying? He's technically sound. That he might be Russian or Asian, depending on what we're talking about. Well, Asian is Russia, but he's a warrior. 9 times out of 10, you talking about somebody that's Mexican. You get what I'm saying? They have all these terms, and I was clowning about it because there was a fight between a black fighter and a Mexican fighter, and this happens a lot. And a guy, the Mexican crowd was like, "Why he's all?" It was the consummate Floyd Mayweather. He's black, so he's got to be running. He's always running around the ring, and we was clowning. And I said, it's funny when if you're a black fighter and you hear another fighter say you're always running. Basically, what that means is you ain't got it. The other fighter don't feel like they got a chance to win unless you stand still and right in front of them and never move. That's what that is. That's what the argument is. You're scared. You're running all around the ring. No, it's just called stick and move. But you can't hit me, so I need to stand in front of you like Rock'em Sock'em Robots because that's how men fight. But that's not true because when you get rocked, you run. You're not gonna stand there if somebody hits you real hard. You're not just gonna stand there. No, you're gonna shake, you're gonna wobble, you're gonna fall, you're gonna move and cover up. That's what you're gonna do. Because you ain't got no damn defense. But the argument it stays the same. It's the consummate, I need you to act, I need you to stand right in front of me and not run so I got a chance to win. And it's like, oh, okay. So let me explain what that means. You already lost this fight with your complaint. That's what that means. I already know I'm gonna do exactly what you complaining about. I'm gonna just stick and move. And you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get frustrated, and you're gonna give up. Because you can't make me stop not move my feet. You can't cut me off, you can't cut off the ring, you can't time me, you can't do anything. But just stand there and let it happen. And that's what I mean about these bad faith arguments. It's the same premise. I need you to fit right in this box for me to have a chance with this one. And if you don't fit in this box, I'm gonna throw a tantrum and make it about everything else. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good one, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.